I swear, Hoyoverse has really outdone themselves with Honkai Star Rail. Like, every single time that we have been complaining about a quality of life issue or an annoyance, they have gone above and beyond and gave us, to a certain extent, the things that we have been asking for, and then so much more. Like things that we didn't even know that we needed. Like, for example, one of the things that immediately come to mind is the Trailblaze power increase, because they increased the cap from 180 to 240, which essentially gives you more time to log into the game if you were to need it. And then they gave us the storage, which essentially lets you store up to a third of the Trailblaze power that you would have normally gotten, since it charges slower whenever you are officially capped at 240. And I think that was just amazing. Heck, they gave us endgame content such as Pure Fiction, Apocalyptic Shadow, in order to showcase new characters that normally wouldn't get to shine in Memory of Chaos. And they even like the Simulated Universe expansion modules have been top tier. Though that might be a bit of bias on my end because I just really love the customization mode for it. And like, I'm biased towards roguelite games, and this feels like a roguelite game. So it's just amazing. Heck, one of the things that I know for a fact that I have been adoring was the introduction of the Tears of Dreams, which essentially work as a universal trace material, so you can use them to level up your Harmony characters, your Nihility characters, your Hunt characters. Doesn't matter, whoever you want to level up, you essentially have their trace materials. That is such a good change. Like, the fact that this item exists alone is huge. And I could keep on rambling on about these things, but I'll do one better because I know that this video is gonna be already very lengthy. And here is a list of every single quality of life change that Honkai Star Rail has given us. And yes, there are indeed that many, and those are as many as could come up to the top of my head. I suffered, but it was a lot of fun actually, like, you know, looking back at all the things that they have given us. However, for this video, there is one little thing that I do wish to focus on, and that is the Divergent Universe. This game mode per se that has been added into the game as an extension of the Simulated Universe that isn't really a module like Golden Gears, but it really did just refresh everything up. Not only did it make it so that we can farm planar like sets a lot easier, which had been, for me at least, a huge problem because I was so lazy to farm them. I would just do the weekly and hope for the best, and even then sometimes I didn't do it because I was too like invested in trying to do Swarm Disaster or Golden Gears. So at best I would do like the very beginning of a regular run and then just like claim the tokens, you know, those like that essentially qualify as 40 Trailblaze power that we get for free. But beyond that, I never really did it for the sake of wanting to do it. Oh, also when there was like obviously the ×2, ×3 events, but like beyond that, it just felt like a chore. It wasn't fun. So the moment that they announced that they were gonna do a little bit of a rework, I was excited. And when I first saw the change, I was hyped. When I dove deeper and I actually played it, I was giga hyped. So throughout this video, I kind of want to point out a few things that definitely has made this new experience a lot more enjoyable, and I kind of also want to look at it from like a game design perspective, as I do for like all my other videos. But yeah, let us see why, or better said, how the Divergent Universe fixed the Simulated Universe problem. Alright, so to begin this conversation, I kind of want to go over what I consider to be the most crucial and important thing that the Divergent Universe brings up to the table, and it is the fact that all of your characters get immediately leveled up to 80 for these Divergent Universe runs. And on top of that, they get their traces leveled up to 8, while their basic attack does get to 5 out of 6, which is honestly a very respectable amount. They get their light cones leveled up to 80, and if you don't equip them with a light cone, they receive a whole light cone on its own that is kind of recommended to them, though personally speaking, I do prefer to put my own light cone, even if it's level 1, because it will get instantly boosted to level 80 and it will remain with that light cone that you yourself selected. I believe so long as it's on the same path. That I'm not sure if you can put another one, but why would you put a light cone from another path to begin with, right? On top of that, they also do get their ideal relics and planar sets. So overall, this just brings a lot of value to the table. If you get what I'm saying, right? Like literally the fact that every single character that you own can be playable in one way, shape, or form, even if you have them at level 1, is absolutely insane, right? Because this enables you to just be able to play whatever you want. I have been having so much fun because, for example, I didn't fully level up my Robin. I kind of just left her at level 50, and I do feel a little bit bad about that. But now I get to play Robin without any problems. I mean, there are a few problems because I do die from time to time when I'm doing Threshold 6, but that's a completely different thing, right? It's still a lot of fun to just play any character I want. I can run a team with Misha if I wanted to, and I've been dying to play that character, but I've been so lazy to build him. I've been able to play characters that I didn't think I would ever have the chance to just bring into some of these combats, such as Yanxing. I've been able to bring in both of my Danhangs, which I feel bad because one of them literally got left behind, and he's the 5-star version. So, whoopsie. I also feel like I lack in erudition light cones, so being able to play Jin Yuan without worry, being able to play, I don't know, Argenti, sometimes I feel like I build him like poorly, so he just ends up popping off, even though I did give him everything from searching, but that's just like a different topic. I do need to fully rebuild a lot of my characters, and just the fact that I can now play them however I want is insane. Oh, biggest massive buff that I have gotten playing this has been able to better kit my Harmony characters, because I've been having a lot of problems building Harmony, because honestly just like getting their ideal substats feels incredibly rough. And on top of that, I have pride myself in being the Nihility main, so Nihility. I keep saying Nihility because that's just ingrained in my mind. But I've been priding myself in being a Nihility main to the point that I didn't really build that many of my Harmony units. So now being able to play them without any worry is absolutely amazing. And I personally just abuse the fact that I can run 2 light cones of dance, level 80, superimposition 5 in these runs. It's amazing, and my goodness me, this game mode has reinvigorated so much fun for my brain. It's also made me tilt the hell out of my mind, but just being able to play whatever I want is insanely good. However, that's not where the fun ends, because the second thing that they implemented that literally just gave so much value to this game mode as a whole is the fact that there is a sort of little mini game within the Divergent Universe in the Cyclical Runs. And the main reason why I want to mention these is because these are sort of pre-made runs. It's like a seed in a roguelite. You always know how the beginning will be. You're always set up with a specific path in mind. The first one was destruction, this current one is the hunt, and you receive 5 blessings of that particular path, and you just get to go off incredibly hard for absolutely no reason. They give you already pre-made equations with some that are level 3, I mean tier 3, I don't know why I call them like levels, but it's really fun to just be told, hey, we're gonna give you these tools, have fun. This is the kind of like a run we think you're going to enjoy. And the reason though why I personally like this is not only because, again, like, it is just fun that we get to have like a flavor of the week game mode. It's also the fact that clearing one of these runs will instantly grant you 14,000 points into your simulated universe score. And that is the literal amount required in order to fulfill your weekly quota. You can immediately just collect all your stellar jades, collect the Hertabon, collect the the pass in order to get one standard warp, and you can get the 4 tokens in order to collect some of the planar sets. And that is just incredibly good because, you know, we also got the ability to just farm for planar sets immediately with whatever you have done in order to finish a Divergent Universe run. And the fact that you get the seeded run means that you just have something specifically tailored, probably for a boss, but at the end of the day, it's just going to be broken. It's going to be incredibly strong, and that is something that I just adore so much. I'm probably just fanboying a lot about this, but it just makes me so happy that I can comfortably just be playing this game and farming planar sets, because I have been so behind on that one particular thing. And this also kind of came with like its own extra buff, right? Because again, like, I was dreading doing simulated universes, so now that it becomes easier, I can just create my own fragile resin, so to speak. No, condensed resin. My bad, I used like the wrong term from like Genshin. But yeah, like, now I can condense my Trailblaze power into like these little tokens that we use in the simulated universe, because I can just use them whenever I want in Divergent Universe. And that is insanely efficient, because some days I really am lazy. I don't want to play Star Rail, but I want to get everything done as quickly as possible. And just log in, collect the thing, done. Easy. I love it. Alright though, let's double back a little bit into the Divergent Universe. I kind of went off on like a massive tangent because I really do enjoy these changes that they made. But one of the things that I also feel like I need to talk about in the Divergent Universe is how they made it so unique in comparison to every run that we have experienced so far. Like, they made it feel a lot better than Golden Gears and Swarm Disaster, and I really thought that would be very, very hard to pull off, but they did it, and it was through the addition of equations. For those that don't know what an equation is, because maybe you haven't like done this game mode, it's essentially like a buff. You know how like whenever we collected 3 blessings of a specific path, the one that we initially chose, it's like, hey, you get like this resonance boost that lets you pop off harder, where this time it's just like, hey, if you collect, I don't know, like 8 blessings of preservation and 4 of remembrance, you get the City Restorer equation expanded, allowing you to now be able to get a community shield like the one from like the Sunday fight. And then this shield will just do like 2,500% physical damage to just everything. Why? Well, why not? You're just gonna be tanky as hell and do incredible amounts of damage. The other one that I remember is still ingrained in my mind was like the Borison one, which I believe was, it's either 8 destruction and 4 abundance, or 8 abundance. Actually, Borison is abundance, so 8 abundance and 4 destruction. I literally answered the question on myself. But that one was giga busted, and I still have it recorded in my mind because all you need to do is just damage yourself, heal yourself back up over and over and over again, and suddenly this like flower will do giga damage to the opponent for absolutely no reason. I know that in this one they gave us the Molten Knight buff, which is like a hunt and propagation one, and legitimately speaking, it just, I believe it's when like you like eliminate an enemy, a lot of like arrows come up and do like massive damage. I think it also works when you like break an opponent, but it has to be like an elite at best. And these arrows just like do a lot of damage, and I believe they trigger Spore. Also, the fact that it low-key bothers me because Molten Knight is, I believe, a SAM unit. So I don't know why that's part of the hunt path. It makes sense why it's kind of combined with propagation, and it just makes me speculate many other things, but I'm not gonna go too deep into it. All I know is that a lot of these are very, very flavorful, and I cannot wait to like experiment further on these. The 3-star equations are obviously the most busted. 4-star equations can help you boost up someone like the damages that you're able to create, and 3 stars are just, I feel like, just nice little stat boosts or nice little quality of lives. But the fun lies in those 3-star equations. However, they are not the most fun that I have had so far within this game mode. And that is because there is a quote-unquote hidden equation that you can unlock if you get enough of a specific blessing. If you are lucky enough to get 16 out of the 17 blessings of the same path within one singular run, you're gonna feel incredibly insane because it allows you access to a boundary equation, a sort of quote-unquote secret equation that essentially works like a resonance from simulated universe, from disaster, or regular simulated universe to begin with, because it gives you access to that one button that lets you do something incredibly funny whenever you so desire. And personally speaking, I have only experienced 2, which are the destruction one and the hunt one. But as I read the other ones, I feel like these are also just incredibly busted, especially if you get the correct equations. Like, these ones are beautiful because they feel like they're very synergistic within each other, and it lets you just break the game. Like, I'll be honest, it just literally allows you to destroy everything. And in one way, shape, or form, they just excel themselves. Like, for example, the destruction one worked in a way that like it dealt like that like massive explosion, but now whenever you get hit, you start stacking it up, and next time you use the destruction resonance, it's gonna do damage for every single time that you got hit. The hunt one was insanely broken because it advanced forward 100% your entire party, and you can have 2 stacks of it. So you can activate it twice, and just also, you know, like it dealt like the massive AoE damage of like the arrow rain. But the fact that it advanced all of your allies 100% is disgusting. You just get a free Robin ult, essentially. And I love that. Others that I remember, I read them all. I'm just like trying to remember, but like obviously the swarm one, the propagation one, was kind of just like the same as like Simulated Universe. Advance forward, specific ally, get skill points, deal massive amounts of damage. And the one that I also stuck forever in my mind was the erudition one, which essentially just says like, oh hey, you know, we will deal a little bit of damage, but now all of the enemies will be linked to whatever enemy has like the highest amount of HP. And that just makes it feel that you can like absolutely destroy with erudition. And it is one that I really, really want to try. The preservation one, I'm just like going over probably too many, and I'm probably rambling on. I just know that the preservation resonance, or better said boundary equation, synergizes really well with the City Restorer 3-star equation, because it essentially gives you like the Giga Shield that does the massive damage. So overall, just know that if you get lucky enough to try these out, go for it. It would be quicker and easier to do so through the cyclical runs. So do try these with a grain of salt. I have suffered trying to get the erudition one to the point that I thought it was no longer worth it to try to get footage for it. So yeah, in short, have fun and enjoy it, because my goodness me, I need more of this game mode. I'm never gonna get tired of this. I say probably too soon, but I'm enjoying this far too much. So hey, real quick, I just want to take this moment to appreciate each and every single one of you guys. First of all, it's because, one, we are very close to reaching our goal of 2,500 subscribers. Again, your support breaks my mind away. It's insane how many of you guys keep on appearing. And the other thing is, I remember like a few videos ago, I was saying, hey guys, we're currently at like 6.6% of like watch time from people that are subscribed versus people that are not subscribed. And I'm proud to say that that number went to 22%. And the reason why I'm proud of that is because my goal for the end of the month was to make that number be 7.5. So you can imagine my surprise when I saw it was 22%. Essentially 3 times what I was expecting. You all are insane, and I adore each and every single one of you guys. Your support means a lot to me, and I'm genuinely so thankful and so grateful for this community that we're building, that we're able to discuss many different things, that we're able to communicate with each other, we're able to talk about like the game's design and what we adored about the characters. And sure, like this part, like this part of their kit might be like too broken, or like maybe not like the most fun, but it's just enjoyable that it is in character, and therefore it makes me happy that we exist in this part of the internet. So I would like to invite you, if you're new, to subscribe to the channel. It's free, it only takes a second, and if you ever feel like I'm not like delivering the quality of content, you're more than welcome to unsubscribe. I want to be able to do something that you all can be happy with and that I can be proud of, and I've been enjoying this journey into YouTube. So I do want to say once again that I thank you guys for giving me this opportunity. Yeah, back to the video. And with all the changes that they added to the blessing system with the equations, I didn't think they would go like even further beyond than that, but they did. They just popped off because they reworked the curio system in order to better fit it into the Divergent Universe. And still, even though it's been like over a week, I'm still like baffled by how nice this feels, because they've added like a rarity system. So now you're able to see your curios with like a different highlight, because you can get 1-star curios, 2-star curios, or 3-star curios. And obviously some of these are much more busted than others. Also, negative curios now have a hue of red, and personally speaking, that just makes it so much better, because now I can tell like very clearly when I've gotten unlucky. However, the one curio that I personally adore that got giga buffed was, I'm gonna butcher the name because I don't remember, but it was like the Rubert Empire cogwheel, which is like this weird little golden cogwheel that we have probably seen a lot of times in Swarm Disaster and in whatchamacallit, Golden Gears, which also, it's like a little golden gear. but legitimately speaking, I remember seeing this curio so many times back in the past, and I would always just be like, damn, this is like so bad because it gives you 50 cosmic fragments, and if you exceed 500 or 750 in this particular game mode, the curio gets destroyed and you lose all of your cosmic fragments, which is, in all honesty, just really bad. However, right, they gave it a fun little game mode for this, because if you collect all 3 Rubert Empire Curios, you get a curio that Giga pops off. For context, the 3 curios are, as mentioned, the cogwheel, you get fragments. If you exceed, you lose fragments. You get the mechanical lever, which essentially gives you blessings in order to fulfill the equation. So it's like you lose a blessing that you don't need for any equation at all, and you gain a blessing that would help you fulfill your equations. And if you're able to, no longer have more blessings to receive, then the curio itself will become broken. And I don't remember if there was like a downside. I believe that it gets discarded and something bad should happen. I just don't remember. However, there's also the other one, and I still remember this one because this one annoys me so much. It is the mechanical piston, which essentially says, hey, every single time that you enter a room, you get 2 curios, but you lose one at random. And should you discard this curio with its own effect, you lose all of your curios. And this one hurt me so many times. Legitimately, it has killed some of my runs, and I never want to see it again. But if I want to get the most broken curio in the game, I have to get all 3. Because once you get all 3, you get the Rubert Empire difference machine, which essentially says every single time you enter a domain, you get 300 cosmic fragments, 3 random blessings, 3 random curios, which, as far as I know, cannot be negative curios, and then, to top it all off, when entering battle, increases your ally's crit rate by 60%. Yes, 60. And your crit damage by 16%. Why did they make it such low crit damage with such massive crit rate? I have no idea, but all I know is that this is busted, and it does work really well with the hunt. So if you have like this with the hunt, you're like turbo broken, because that will literally boost you with the critical boost mechanic. And overall, just absolutely wonderful. Also, not to mention, I've been mentioning, I went ahead and mentioned like the new curios, but I also want to briefly say that I love the fact that they reworked certain curios, like the cavity, more like the cavity tooth one, the one that usually would let you spend all of your like fragments in order to get for damage. They made it so that it starts seeping out your fragments over time through every room. Like you lose like 50% of your fragments, and depending on the amount, you get more crit damage. I know that the coin was able to give you more cosmic fragments, like the golden coin, and even like I don't remember, it was one of the robes, the blue robe now also gives you cosmic fragments whenever you enter a new room, and that is wonderful. Like, I just adore the fact that they made it in a way that we are able to kind of like rediscover the fun of all of this. Oh, there's also the Knights of Beauty. There's like the tooth that you get from the Knights of Beauty. I don't remember what it's called, but I know that instead of giving you reroll chances like it would usually give you, it gives you a random equation. And equations are fun, equations are busted, so definitely is a curio that I tend to pick up, and I hope that I can high roll with. But I almost forgot about this, and I'm glad that I kind of doubled back in order to make this edition. I mentioned how they were new curios, but I didn't mention the giga new ones, the broken ones, which you get as like rare rewards. If anything, if we had like a 3-star curio before, these are like 5 stars. We skip the 4-star in order to get 5 stars, and the reason why I give them such praise is because these curios will synergize with your path, and you also get one of these for free in your cyclical runs, which is something that I forgot to mention. But again, kind of busted, because some of these will literally give you the ability to break the game, in my personal opinion. Although, to be fair, I think one of these actually did break the game, and that is why Adventuring had to say bye-bye, because it could leave you soft-locked, as if I recall correctly, it can kill, the die when he does a little gamble, and because if you, those things are meant to die. So if you execute them, you can no longer continue the fight because there's nothing for you to attack, and then you are sad. But yeah, no, weighted curios are genuinely busted, and I know that I've been having so much fun in particular with the destruction ones, because there was one that essentially allowed me to whatchamacallit. It was like resist crowd controls and get advanced forward. There was also one for fire characters that if you broke an enemy with a fire attack, they would only restore half of their toughness bar, and genuinely absolutely love it. It's incredibly wonderful. There was one that like synergized with harmony, and they gave you like chords, but I never really understood what it did. But it's probably broken. I remember there's a lightning one that increases your weakness break and advances your characters forward. So all in all, if you're running like a good build and you find one of these curios that perfectly suits your build, you're gonna absolutely wreck everybody up. And this is what I adore about this game mode, is the fact that you can giga break it in new ways that are incredibly fun and that I feel like can be used for clips. Genuinely, I cannot wait to use this footage like for backgrounds in my videos. I don't know. I mean, I know in certain ones, like I'm just struggling to use the words, but I don't know. It's just nice to do funny little runs and have them for my commentary, because I get to see the. I don't know. I see many numbers. I see many things flying to the screen, and it brings happiness. Is all I can say, and I'm really hoping that this game mode has been enjoyable to you. Although, if you're doing thresholds, first of all, I wish you the best of luck, and two, just like me, you're suffering. So, stay strong, buddy. I believe in ya. Something else that I do want to praise massively about this game mode is how fast it feels. And it is because they found a way to just speed up the process. Because anytime that you enter an occurrence domain, you are greeted by 2 occurrences. If you go into a reward domain, you're greeted by 2 rewards. So it feels like you are just gaining more value. And even then, they like buffed up the total amount of rewards you are able to obtain. Like, if I recall correctly, there was like one that if I gave up like a blessing, I would get 4 instead. And I personally just adore it. The shops are also so much better in this game mode, by the way, because one, they kind of show you the original price when you get like that little, like, reduce the price of the shop by 30%, and that helps me. I don't know, it helps me do my math better. There's also the fact that whenever I have needed to find, specific blessings or specific curios, I feel like I end up getting incredibly useful ones. I don't know. Especially because, well, to be fair, You can rig the shop to be better with one of the museum displays, and on top of that, there should be one of the skill tree nodes that also lets you have more options. So, should you have a decent amount of cosmic fragments, shops become giga busted. And I just love how they were able to make the game feel much faster and comparable to an actual Golden Gears slash Swarm Disaster run without dragging it for too long. Like, I feel like even when I try to do like a quick Swarm run, it can take like 20 minutes, half an hour maybe, depending on like what I'm doing. These ones are done in like incredibly quickly. Except for, well, you know, when like I do thresholds, then like I take forever and I suffer and like hurts. So if you value your sanity, don't do threshold 6. If you want bragging rights, by all means go ahead. Just know that you have been warned by me. It's a lot of fun, but also it's a lot of suffering. So please value yourself. Something else that I want to praise, and once again, innovation is just off the roofs with how well they have been planning this new game mode. It's the fact that there are 2 new types of domain. Unless I'm being wrong, there was like another one, but as far as I know, there are 2 new types of domains. These ones being wealth and escapade domains. In particular, you will see wealth domains kind of more frequently. Escapade domains are a much rarer and a much more delightful treat depending on your situation and your own. Wealth will give you a treasure chest that has, if I recall correctly, 400 cosmic fragments, and it will also put you next to one of the Penaclani like luck machines, whether it be the like dreamy slot or the wheel of fortune. It's up to you, depends on like what you find. But some of these can give you curios, some of these can give you blessings, some of these can give you bad luck. So overall, it just depends on what you see, right? And it's up to your own judgment. But personally, just wealth has been incredibly useful for me in some runs. Escapade domains, though, they can be 2 different things, which it's also kind of variance on luck depending on what you need, because you might find the creatures, the Ruinme like cat jellies, right? And if you find the one that has the Donhung one, the Trailblazer and March one, it's good. It's not like the best, but it's pretty good, and it helps your runs because you can like reshuffle some of your equations or blessings depending on what you need. But if you find the Ruinme and Herta cat pastries, you're in for a giga value because you're able to synthesize a curio depending on what you want. You give up 2 curios of the same rarity and get one of a higher one. And some of these have been gigabust for me, other ones not so much. And on the other hand, if you don't want that, if I recall correctly, you can swap your powered curio for something else. Yeah, it's a 1-to-1 exchange. So if you don't like the powered curio that you got, you know, the one that's like very specific to your path, you can just switch it for hopefully something that is more tailored to you and lets you rig the game even better. So all in all, I always love going to Escapade domains. Also because it's just nice to see the little cats existing there. I don't know, they're just adorable. They're fluffy little guys. They need to be protected. And as such, they are some of my favorite NPCs in the game. Okay, last but not least, I want to talk over two quick little things. And it is one, the fact that there's a skill tree, which I personally thought it was really nice. It's a bit of a struggle though, because a part of me is lazy and doesn't want to fill out yet another skill tree. However, I like how much more dynamic this one is. Like, this one expands in many different directions, and you can kind of just like figure out what you want and like how you want to like set it up. So on that end, it's fun. On the other end, it's tedious. And sometimes I did need those extra, whatchamacallit, stats that we were able to receive. So I really wish that this wasn't a thing, but at the same time I understand why it is a thing, and I'm grateful that they have added it regardless, because without these extra bumps in my stats, I would die incredibly quickly and I would essentially be tickling a boss. I'm pretty sure that if I hit a boss without these stats, I would be healing the enemy because I would be doing negative damage. But yeah, all in all, fun mechanic, annoying tediousness, but fun mechanic. The one thing though that has me fuming, though again I understand why they set it up in the way that they set it up, is the fact that whenever you win a combat, or better said, whenever you're selecting a blessing, you no longer get the ability to refresh and try to get something better. You are only allowed to refresh your blessing after you pick it up and you find one of the cat machines, since you're able to re-roll your blessings there, and the first one's always free, then it starts like ranking up in price and it can become very costly. But the main thing is that once you're able to re-roll there, you feel great. But before that, it can just be rough needing to pick something purely for the sake of, oh yeah, like this is like the best option, but it doesn't synergize with my build, or nor does it really go with my equation, so I just feel like I'm wasting space of something that could have been much more busted, strong, much more fun. So the part of me that wants instant dopamine and instant feedback wishes that we still had the rerolls. The part of me that's more methodical and likes to big brain things loves the fact that this is the way that they implemented it. So I'm conflicted in my mind, and I know that I keep being very contrarian with my own self, but it's a lot of fun. Also, real quick, I did forget to mention this about the new Curios, but there's a Curio that I have hated. It's a negative Curio. It's like a weird dark rabbit, and it made me lose this run. I mean, I was gonna lose regardless, but I also want to blame this on this particular Curio, and it is because it says whenever you enter combat for the next 4 combats, if you attack, there's a 50% chance you actually attack the adjacent enemy. And I became so tilted fighting that. I really hope I never have to buy that Curio ever again. So yeah, with all that being said and done, thank you. Let's just move on to the conclusion. Alright, so with that, we have reached the end of the video, and my goodness me, I am so surprised by how freaking long these videos keep on being. I'm looking at the timer, and it's over 40 minutes now, so editing this is gonna be fun. I also feel like my voice is dying a little bit, but small little details. Regardless, so I do want to say once again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope that you guys have been enjoying the content. If you have any suggestions or any kind of topics that you guys want me to cover, I definitely do want to, because I do enjoy the fact that I can do both the character, reviews, not reviews, but like, this character is perfectly designed series. It's enjoyable. I love it. It makes me happy. I do want to expand that into something more That's why I keep doing like interchanging between a character video and like something else related video. I personally like the fact that this gives more variety to the channel, and I have a few ideas of non-character videos that are coming up next. But if there's any other ones that do come to mind or that you guys enjoy, definitely do leave them down in the comments, and I would love to read through them all. Eventually, there's also a new series that I kind of want to start, and I'm very excited. I'm going to keep that under wraps for now, but just know that there are so many content ideas that are coming into my mind, and I cannot wait to bring them into live, and it is all thanks to you. So once again, I just want to say thank you guys we are on our way to 2,500 subscribers. Thanks to you guys that are watching the videos. We again have somehow made it to 22% of watch time from subscribers, which is wild to me, but it makes me so happy and just overjoyed. So like my brain is mushy because I do not know how to express this feeling of happiness. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, please feel free to click the subscribe button. I really hope that you've been enjoying these videos. If you've been able to reach all the way to this point in the video, I don't know, comment down mouse. That's the first thing I saw. I don't know, I couldn't really bad at this. Ending videos is a bit of a weakness for me. But yeah, you know, it's free. It only takes a second to subscribe, and if you ever feel like I'm dropping down the quality of my content, you're more than free to unsubscribe. I want to do things that you all can be proud of. So with all that being said and done, thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure. I hope you have a great morning, night, evening, afternoon, whatever time zone applies to you at the time that you're watching this video. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.